We are here, and as we speak as one. For when we say this, each one of you is connected. For as you came to claim your spot or your seat, you are in a web of energy. There is nowhere that any one of us, as beings holding a physical form, can go without creating a ripple in the energetic web of this reality. All of you have a unique frequency, and that frequency is diverse. You are multidimensional beings. You are much more complicated than the average snail, because you have thoughts, you have emotions, you have will, you have power. You are manifesting your reality here through conscious thought. To be a so-called enlightened being is actually very simple. You are simply aware of every choice you make consciously. You are not running programs that have been placed into your subconscious. You are very much aware that as you choose, you in fact create your reality. Now, in saying all of this, we get questions often about what about the orphans on the streets, the people in the third world countries living in desolation. How is it that they create this reality? You see, this comes to the growth of the soul and the experience that one wants as an individual expression of the divine. If one asks for patience, it is not just like a fairy wand, pop, there you go. What you are doing is you actually make a conscious choice to be patient. So you may have relationships that take the most patience to be in, but that person can in fact be the key, the treasure to you embodying patience, because they allow you to show up and choose that even in the face of impatience. This is the human journey. That is what being human is all about. This is also the creation of time and space. We say this often, though it is very much coming into the frontal consciousness of reality as you are here being human, is that time and space gives you the journey. It gives you the experience of creation. That is the gift of being human. Now, does it mean that everything will be roses and will be fun? Not necessarily, yet you will get to know all sides of everything. You see, when everything is one and connected as a whole, you cannot differentiate anything. But if you want to know the pieces, you have to take it out of the whole. So you've got to create its opposite in order to create its fulfillment. Then, you see, we can make this simple. Salt and pepper, they go together, but they are very much different. Yet, they all come from the earth. So really, it is from the same source if you follow it back far enough or close enough. It is all frequency, but it individualizes itself by its uniqueness in tones. Then that creates the salt and the pepper. Each one of you are a unique symphony, as we have spoken about. The way you breathe ripples out. The way your heart beats ripples out. The way you move ripples out. These are obvious in your physical form, yet the way you also think ripples out. The way you feel ripples out. And you do have a lot of power to shift and change your environment. Now, it simply has to do with you consciously choosing it and wholly had this conversation before this channeling, and we'd like to elaborate on it. This conversation was speaking about if you want to manifest something, you can't necessarily just think it. You are multi-dimensional beings. You get to use all of yourself. So to manifest anything, not only do you think it, you must feel it as if it is. This is that saying, and so it is. You will see this on the end of many claims, of many spells, of many conversations that are telling you, I am ... You have to feel it just as much as you are thinking it, and then it can actually come forward into the physical form. It takes 3 points to create a channel. This channel is created by the thoughts, the feelings, and you have a physical body. So when you have the thoughts in the body, when you have the feelings in the body, it can then manifest. And the essence of spirit, which is creation, can come forward through that form. In all of this, again, you must not only think it and feel it, you must allow it to be in your body. This is why it is so important to be in your body. Sometimes you can ask someone, where are you? And quite often, they will then come back to the moment and say, I am here. But when you ask the question, they were not here. They were in the past, or they were in the future, or they were daydreaming, they might say. But if one is not present in their body, they will have a hard time manifesting anything. So this is of utmost importance as well for manifestation to be in your body, connected to the present moment, so that it can actually manifest, and say it as if it is now. If you say, I will in the future, ... it will always be in the future. Or, I will heal my past, ... it will stay in the past. You must claim it in this moment. I am healed, ... I am manifesting, ... here and now. This is the most important thing. Now, in all of this, we wish to bring a lot of time to any and all questions that you wish to ask, for we are here for you. And often, as this channel is opened up, it is asking the question that brings forward many questions for others as well. This is a community, and as we ask, we shall receive. Now we are opening up the space to you. Are there any questions that you wish to ask?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, is there any family pattern going on my bottom two chakra which is prohibiting my abundance, or like is it happening that I'm getting things and I'm like losing them? And like sometimes I have this experience that like I can see dreams of future. So like many times I have seen that like when I go into that moment, I feel that like I have seen this moment before 4 or 5 years or even 7 or 8 years. But like what is that? Sometimes I get confused.
You're asking about patterns that may be in your body because they have been programmed there from ancestors or family. Yes, they can get programmed there, though they most likely get programmed because of the way you are raised. So those that raise you give you that same program through the way that they experience the world. And then, in order to shift that program that has been given to you by family, you must make a different choice. Now that is where you may ask, how do I make a different choice? You see your family and you see possibilities of what is not working for them. And then you ask yourself, Do I run the same program? And you may get the answer yes, or you may get the answer no. If you are looking at your family and seeing how they are living their life, and also recognizing that you as well have the same program, for example, as poverty, then you've picked that up because of their experience in their reality. It is not necessarily yours at your core on a spiritual level, but you can pick up their belief that the reality is in fact povertish, even though it may not be. So, in order to clear any programs in the family, it is very wise to look at your family quite honestly and look at the way you were raised and then question those beliefs that you picked up from parents or even siblings or other relations such as cousins or grandparents, as it can go on, and then be honest and look at those programs, look at their life, and then ask yourself as well, have I picked up this belief? Do I believe that the world is in fact povertish? And if the answer again is yes, then you know the program that you get to shift, and then you allow yourself to be honest and to call it out for what it is. I do have this program. That is of utmost importance. Nothing changes if you are not aware of the program. But once you become aware of the program and then you say, I have this, and what you need to do next then is say to yourself consciously, I wish to change this program. And as you claim that and say that and mean it, not only think it, but feel it, I wish to change this program. For example, let us say poverty. I wish to change this program I have of poverty. I wish to change it to one of abundance, of support. Then you continue to say that and feel that for yourself. I wish to claim abundance and support. Now in this, it may not be turned over where all of a sudden you have tons of abundance and support, but what will come up is you will be faced with experiences that are asking you, do you really believe that? And then as you keep affirming that to yourself and keep taking the journey to affirm that, you change it, you shift it, and it can be a slow process or a fast process, but you must first uncover the program. Then once you uncover that program, you see it, and then you ask to replace that program, and then you claim that replacement, and then you keep believing it, you keep claiming it, you demand it in a sense. For when you demand it, you feel it in your body, you feel it in this moment, you begin to replace those programs that family could give you. Now, we've spoken a lot about this. You can also allow yourself to look on the internet. You have so much available to you now where you can even look up things, healing the first chakra, the second, the third, the fourth, or anything you wish, and allow yourself to be guided through it. Sometimes listening to it will support you in feeling it, and you will feel the support coming from the inside out to actually shift and change a program that is planted inside of you. Are we clear?
Yes.
Thank you for the question. Anyone else?
We talked about names. I was at a group where they were talking about names for their higher self, the power behind the name, and knowing the name of your higher self. Are you familiar?
Yes. Names are powerful. They bring forth a certain energy. Some people on this planet love their names, others do not. We recommend for those who have a human name here and do not love their name, ask themselves why. Sometimes someone who does not like their human name feels as if it is not them, and they wish to embody something different. They can in fact be feeling a program that family would have placed upon them, but they do not resonate with, which they haven't resonated with either at birth or further on in their life. And then we recommend that anyone who feels this way allow themselves to really sit with themselves and ask, do I truly want to continue embodying this human name? And you may get an answer of no. And if that answer comes up, allow yourself, empower yourself to change it to what feels good to you. For if you have a name that you do not like, you are in fact rejecting yourself on an unconscious level, but it is very powerful and profound. Speaking to human names, now speaking to the higher self, the true self, the oversoul. There are many names for many beings. They all have frequencies. Some may make sense to you and your human ears, and others will not. Some names are simply songs. Others are silence, but can be felt. So anything that someone wishes to embody, then they will shift their name towards that. A John feels very different than an Elliot. A Tabitha feels very different than a Jess. You see, you can feel the difference in a name, and especially as one gets older, we ask you all, meditate on your name. Feel into it. You may find you love your name, and if so, you have taken a journey of self-love, self-acceptance. Or if you meditate upon your name and you find yourself repulsed by it or unlikable to it, then let yourself sit with what feels good to you and allow yourself to begin to claim whatever name that might be, because that is in fact a step and an expansion towards love, because you did not consciously choose your name. Some may say you get to accept all of you, but being human, you come out into the world relying on everyone around you for food, for clothing, for shelter, and it goes much farther than that. You rely on everyone around you as well to tell you how to think, how to be, how to feel, and not everyone gets out of that unscathed. At least most people don't. So you automatically pick up those programs, including those names, because you are born into it, again, relying on everyone outside of you. But there comes a time in the human experience where you can be twice born while alive. Being twice born is when you begin to question, who am I? Why do I like this? What do I want to do? And when you do this consciously and choose from the inside out, choose for yourself, rather than what the world tells you to be, you feel it from the inside out, you become twice born, or you become a conscious being to truly choose the life you wish to live, knowing that now you've had enough experience that you can clothe yourself, you can feed yourself, you can shelter yourself, and you can now begin to also think for yourself and feel for yourself. This has sometimes also been called the midlife crisis, but we wish to rename it as being twice born. But are you going to repeat the same cycle and programs that someone else gave you? Or are you giving yourself an opportunity to explore from the fact that you can feed yourself, clothe yourself, and shelter yourself? Now you can think for yourself and feel for yourself too. Just be conscious of the choice and do not let others influence you away from what you truly feel to be you. The way you want to think, the way you want to feel, the way you want to be in the world. Because when you are truly authentic with yourself, then you allow authentic relationships to show up as well. Because you do not have to play an act or a game. You are whom you are, and thus people can show up and either be in resonance or not. And if they are not, it is a gift, and it is a gift for them as well, that they can continue forward into what they are in resonance with. This is something shifting in your world. There is no more of this competition. Be inspired and know if you are not invited to a party, you are not in frequency with it. Maybe it has nothing to do with you being invited, but it has all to do with frequency, and it is a gift if you are not invited. And it can be a gift if you even show up in a space knowing that those here are in frequency with you. They all have something to give. When you become self-aware, you do this much more masterfully because you recognize it is all about frequency. And in that frequency, even though you're different, you will have coherency. That diversity is the beautiful thing. But you are also all on the same bottom foundational tone. You see, you do not want one instrument out of tune with the rest. They will go and work on themselves, get themselves in tune, and then come and play with each other. But sometimes you can have help getting in tune with one another. You just have to open yourself up to you first, and then to each other, and then honor how you feel in a space. It is not mean or wrong. It is just knowing your energy and then allowing yourself to be where you feel in resonance with. So in names, they can shift and they can change as there are many things happening at once. As far as when it comes to the soul, it does not play in finite time alone, for it is infinite and will take on different unique names in any given moment, depending on the desire for what it wishes to embody. We say it because it is quite expansive and multidimensional. And so, take yourselves, do a practice tonight, and feel into your name. And as you feel into your name, feel your reaction to it. And feel, do you just get to love your name more? Or possibly, do you feel like something would be more appropriate for you now because of how much you've grown and changed? And in that, give yourself permission to truly be seen for how you wish to be embodied in this world. And a name is a very powerful thing. Did we answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have two questions. One question. So, what do you like? I wanted to know purpose of my my purpose of my soul in this life. And second question is like when I did few aura readings before, like green energy used to come. So, like, is it true that like I can heal people with just hands? So how I can tap into it?
To heal anyone, you must move into the energy of love. That's how you tap into it. The frequency of love is deep wisdom for knowing what will serve the highest good of that individual that you are working with. Believe it or not, it does not always serve the highest good to take an illness away. Some souls ask for certain illnesses or dis-ease in the body because of what they wish to embody in the human experience. For example, someone could have cancer in themselves. They could have had a life that was very judgmental and very structured and very coarse towards their fellow human beings. But then once they got cancer, it softened them. It softened their heart. And they went into deeper compassion for those who are suffering, who are in pain. And they softened their judgment and moved towards compassion. And that, in fact, grew their soul in a very unique way. Now, there are also different diseases in the body that are asking for healing, and they're asking for it from support from another being. But it is of utmost importance that you always tap into the energy of pure love in order to heal someone, because that love will know exactly what is needed for any given person, and that love will show you that this person, in fact, may be saying consciously they wish to be healed, though their essence, their soul, says, no, this is serving us. Pain can be a great teacher. Pain can serve the soul just as much as joy can, just as much as compassion can. But every unique soul is different. If you wish to really empower your healing gifts, you must first know the energy of love. Tap into it for yourself, first and foremost. Love you. When a healer really loves themselves, they show up neutrally with any given individual soul, and they simply say, I am here to serve. They have nothing to prove, so they do not force their way into someone's energetic field, but they simply come with open arms. As they love themselves, they then overflow that to anyone they come in contact with and approach them neutrally to say, I am love. I am here to serve what serves the highest good of this individual in healing. And then that answer will come forward from love. For love does not work on a finite timeline. Love is actually infinite. That vibrational frequency taps into the web of all the realities, and it is clear in its information on how to support an individual. If a healer comes in contact with another person saying, I must heal this person, and without really tapping into just being neutral, they can in fact have agenda about them, and that agenda can block them into actually what may serve the highest good of that soul. So coming back to your question, to embody the healing gifts you do have, work on love. Loving yourself, loving others, and Ho'oponopono may serve you greatly. That will open you up to continue to tap into the gifts of your healing abilities and utilizing it for yourself as well. Yes, you can utilize your own healing abilities on yourself. We actually recommend it. For do you create a soup that is a brand new recipe, put everything in, and then just hand it out without trying it yourself? No, you try it yourself first, and then you allow it to be served to others. So work on yourself just as much as you're opening up the door to serve and work on others. That is key to be a master healer. Are we clear?
Yes.
Thank you. We have time for a few more questions.
I have one last question. Could you see purpose of my soul in this life?
The purpose of every soul is to experience. It may seem too simple, but it often is. Experience is the first thing of a human incarnation. What comes after that can be an agenda set up by the soul, though that agenda is foggy. It can shift, it can change, because everything's happening at once. Saying this, number one for every soul is experience. You wish to experience time and space and to have the journey. The journey is the gift to the soul, and it is the purpose. Now, to get more individualized with you, your journey is to love you. That can in fact be the journey for every soul as well. Experience and love you. And what comes after that is endless. Let what you love be what you do. For doing that, you will live your purpose. If you allow yourself to find you, to love you, your purpose will automatically exude from you. If you are chasing a purpose that is finite, such as my purpose is to write 100 books in this life, you miss the whole point. It is the experience. It is to love you. And then what you create out of that love, that is the gift to the world. That is the answer. When one goes through timelines or past life reviews, what do they remember most? It is not that they wrote 100 books and shifted the world in a huge way. It is that they were kind to the child in their class. They didn't even know the effect they had upon them. It was so small, and yet it completely changed the trajectory of that child. It was the small cat that you rescued from the garbage. Yes, animals as well feel this. It is the smallest acts of kindness that create the greatest growth for the soul. Though you can do great things, that is fantastic. Though the smallest acts can in fact create the greatest ripples. And often people don't even see these effects they have upon one another until their past life review. So know this, you don't have to do something grand. You can, of course, endless possibilities, but it is how you interact and treat yourself and each other that is of utmost importance for the growth of the soul. Now we are coming to completion. As we come to completion, we may ask you, if you so desire, to allow yourself to bring your right hand in the center of your chest and the left hand on top of your right. Closing your eyes, take a few deep breaths into your heart center. And as you connect to the breath flowing in and out of you, feel as you inhale the space around you, giving you everything you need for life. And as you exhale, feel your body releasing anything and all that no longer serves you. And as you continue to breathe, inhaling in and exhaling out, know This world, this earth, is constant in change. What you inhale on this breath is serving you. It moves through a process of alchemy in your body, taking out and keeping what it needs and what it does not. And as you exhale, releasing then what once served you but no longer does. This world is in fact one of change, and that is the gift as well. Change, cycles, birth, life, and death is the gift. Embrace each cycle, see it for what it is, and that will in fact show you the bigger picture. To resist any cycle in life is to resist the reality itself, and that will sink your perspective and your experience of the reality. So know, whether you are just born, or young, or old, it is all a gift. For you are infinite, but the gift is being finite. And as you release your hands down when it feels right, we thank you for coming forward tonight and for sharing the space and your energy. From our hearts to yours, we bid you farewell. So sometimes I'll see a lot of things when we channel. Huge thing was with the names. So I was seeing as you come into an individual form, it's like, it's almost as labeled a sticker, like boop. And you like keep on the sticker, or that sticker like melts into you and becomes a part of you, and it is you. But sometimes some names that we get that maybe we're not in resonance with, it's like we're wearing this name tag. That's just like, yep, here's my name. But it's like this physical thing. It didn't like melt into your being, like for me, where it's like, I am Holly, like I love my name, and that's who I am. And so it was the difference. It was like showing me like a sticker. Like, do I have the sticker or am I that? That was huge. And then also with the family, and just recognizing if you can step back and even honestly look at your family and see, a program, and it's like, am I running that same program? And just being conscious of it is the first thing to change it. Like, that's the first step, is just be conscious of it. The fact that you're conscious of it can then allow you to catch it, maybe if you start playing it out. And then we may even literally be playing out that program, being like, here I'm going again. But that's awareness, that's awakening, that's being conscious of it. And it just can be a slow shift and change. So that's a couple of the things I was seeing. But thank you guys for coming so much. And yeah, we'll send you out this recording, and till we meet again, namaste.